All right. So, we're live.
Hey.
Episode 18. Oh, for the love of football. This is JagBlitz here. Your host, La Boyd. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, the MC Wale.
Howdy, howdy.
We are what we like to consider a good alternative to everything and anything Jacksonville Jaguars.
You say just good. I say a great alternative.
Great? Okay.
A great alternative.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take a great alternative to anything that is local Jaguars meter other than stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'd even reference that lately, the stuff coming directly from the team. But for the most part, the best thing since Jaguars local news radio. We are going to talk about some Jaguars stuff. We're just talking about the stuff that everybody does. We're going to go over Jaguars-Titans game. We're going to go over our Gus Gotta meter.
What is going on? I freaking hate my computer.
Oh, no.
No, it's not. We're not struggling just yet, but we're good. We're good. Don't mind me. Don't mind me at all.
And then we'll wrap up with the game coming up this Sunday, Jaguars versus Colts, or rather, Jaguars versus Charlie Whitehurst. So, we'll get into it, sir. What did you think? Jags-Titans.
Comedy? It was comedic to me.
Oh, gosh.
It was a comedic, it was a comedic, it's hard to say. Like, here's the situation that I'm looking at. I'm looking at an offense that was clicking on all cylinders outside of a botched Wisniewski snap that was able to score pretty much at will on the Titans defense. But then on the other hand, I look at a defense that could not stop anybody on third down. And, oh, by the way, Jason Myers misses 2 extra points. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, good. We've got, I'm proud that we've got Blake Bortles and, glad that Allen Robinson, they were both all able to just completely break some records that Jacksonville hasn't seen in a long time. Blake Bortles has, the most passing touchdowns in a season by a Jacksonville Jaguar, and it's only going to build because he's got 27. He beat out David Garrard with 24. Allen Robinson's the first 1,000-yard receiver we've had since Jimmy Smith in 2005. So, I mean, there's a lot of positives to look at the offense,
Yep.
But, I mean, your head coach is a defensive-minded coach, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse every week. So, I mean, I'm getting to the point where I don't even know, man. Like, I'm watching these games just to hopefully enjoy football, but I don't really know what else to say or to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a little bit of the same boat in a sense that, Blake broke actually 2 records. He broke the passing touchdowns, the most passing touchdowns in a game with 5. And then Allen Robinson tied, a franchise record of 3 catching touchdowns. And I was ecstatic. I mean, those moments, I don't want to say euphoria, but those moments of just overall glee of, oh my gosh, this is happening. This hasn't happened since 2005, and then I felt kind of sad. And because I remember when Cecil Shorts was super close to breaking the 1,000 yards, and then he got hurt. And I thought, to be honest and be fair, I thought Hearns was going to get first, but again, he got injured, a concussion. So, and I think Hearns will still get 1,000 yards this year, barring any more injuries or re-aggravations or anything like that. The offense looked very, very, very good. And that's something that we haven't been able to say for a while, that the offense looks good. And, I mean, Blake, we technically had 6 offensive touchdowns.
I mean, that's what we had. We had 6 offensive touchdowns.
I mean, Blake had 5 and TJ had 1. And we still lost.
I just don't understand how that's not enough. How is that not enough?
And the glaring thing to me is that when Blake Bortles throws for 4 more touchdowns, the Jags are 0-2.
That is such a frustrating stat, man. It's so upsetting.
Tampa and then this game were the 2 games where our offense seemed to gel very, very well. And Blake looked good in the red, decision making looked good in the red zone. Like, I'm going here, bam. Oh, we're handing the ball off here, and no muckery in the red zone with Alualu or Toby Gerhardt or somebody else. It was okay. We're gonna hand the ball to TJ and we're gonna let Blake make decisions. And then our defense just was bad.
Non-existent. It's like
Other
they didn't even show up to play, bro.
other than the house interception, which was a gift from Doyle Greenback, and Doyle Greenback is like, here you go, boop. Here, take this. Um, it was just we couldn't stop anybody, and my wife, who's been doing stuff for clients and stuff of hers, like making gifts and stuff like that. She was casually, like peeking up. She's like, "Why can't we stop anybody?"
Because
And
the defense is bad, the coordinator's bad, the coach is bad. That's why.
and go through. I think it was pretty much epitomized with Andre Branch passing interference in the end zone at the end of the game. Where I was like,
On the
"Oh,
final play of the
we
game,
could maybe get the ball back." I mean, I know that's a snowball chance in hell kind of thing.
crazier things had happened.
But I was like, well, our offense is moving really, really well. Sideline passes, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why is Andre Branch in coverage? I don't know.
Because he can't rush the passer, that's why.
And that too. We had a completely non-existent pass rush. I think we sacked Mariota like once.
Twice, technically twice. Mariota,
Yeah, well, he had the
Telvin
fumble or
Smith
whatever.
got 2 sacks. One of them was he tripped over himself right around the line of scrimmage, and then the other one was the Telvin Smith sack fumble that we were able to turn into points.
And we'll roll right into our Gus Gonometer, where in the post game and all that stuff, like, well, why did you stop pass rushing Mariota? And Gus was like, well, you saw that time he ran.
We saw that one time he ran for 87 yards. Yeah, but I
How
mean,
is somebody
once.
not spying him, Telvin specifically, because Telvin's got the speed? How come nobody is spying the quarterback on that play? Is beyond me.
I was flipping sick, man. I was disgusted, and
still-
not by the 87-yard play. I mean, yeah, that was disgusting too. But it's the fact that you've got guys in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 18, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, and you can't get off the effing field.
no.
You just can't do it.
And that's such a glaring issue, and we've lost to 2 teams that had only 2 wins this game, and then San Diego the previous game. These are bad teams. I mean, San Diego scored 3 points before the game they played us, and they scored
Went ham on us, and then scores 3 points against Denver.
And I'm like, whoa, what the hell? What is wrong? It's like, oh, aberration. Oh, back to normal. So where's your Gus Gonometer? Do you think, and we'll kind of tie it in with game, the game coming up against good old Charlie Whitehurst. Oh gosh,
we're gonna lose to him too.
Where do you think this is gonna? Where do you think? Do you think with how the season hit, the last couple games and the last stretch here is unfolding, do you think that your Gus Gonometer, I'm sure, is maybe a little bit more than what it's usually, but do you think that if we lose to Charlie Whitehurst, we lose to, not terrible, but we lose to a bad Falcons defense, and then our last 2 games, Houston and who's the last? Oh, and then New Orleans, bad defensive team.
Yeah.
Do you think that, let's say we lose the last 4 and we go 4-12?
Gus is gone.
Really?
Has to be gone. He has to be gone. He has to be gone. And the reason he has to be gone is because you look at the overall situation, all right? I mean, going into the season, we were thinking 6-10 is a solid record.
Yeah,
that
we
is
talked
what
with Mike K. That's what we were saying.
Yeah, we talked with Mike K. 6-10 should be the ideal situation. If you can get to 6-10, that gives you enough to feel like, all right, especially if you're not getting blown out. Luckily, we haven't really been getting blown out of games. The only game we got blown out was against the Patriots. Every other game has been close or relatively close within a score or even 10 or even 10. But even then, you look at the situation, the AFC South as a whole is bad. Your
the NFC East equivalent.
The NFC East opponents we played, bad. I mean, the NFC South opponents that we've played, bad outside of the Panthers,
Panthers,
and
yeah.
even the Panthers game was close. So keeping in mind all of the things that have gone on, and then obviously you reel off 3 out of 4 at the end. Like you win the London game, you come back, you win the next week, you win another one. You know, it's like all right, you rattle off 3 or 4, but then you lose 2 games that you shouldn't have lost to, with the way your offense was playing. And then you've got these final 4 games here at the end of the year. I mean, Charlie Whitehurst comes. If Charlie Whitehurst comes in here and puts up more than 30, puts up 24 points on you, I think you fire Gus that day. Like, look, obviously you don't understand what it means to get a defensive side of the ball to play like they need to. You don't have what it takes to be a head coach in the NFL at this level right now, because you've just not been able to figure it out, and that's an unfortunate thing, because there's not been a bigger supporter for Gus than me. I've wanted him to succeed. I've wanted him to be the guy. I wanted him to be good. Like, I've had conversations with people years, like 2 or 3 years ago, when he was first hired. I was like, if Gus actually is a good coach and he can get this team to start winning, he's going to be a rock star in this town. He'll be a rock star around the league if he can do it. And he has not been able to prove that he can do it. The Gus Gonometer, even though, yeah, I've said it's been like low, just because I know that he's not going to get fired any week during the season. I'm fed up, man. I'm fed up with, like, a lot of fans. Some fans are okay with, like, how he's coached and how he's progressed. Me, I look at the situation. I'm like, you've had opportunity. It's one thing if you start off 1-5, and you're still only a game outside of your division.
Yep.
You know, that's the sad reality of it. You were 1-5 at one point, and you still were only a game and a half outside of first place in your division. And you couldn't even man, and you could not
technically have a shot now.
Yeah, we're what, 2 games
We're 2
outside,
games
but
out, yeah.
like
So
if you win and some other things happen, I mean, you could be right there in it. But the problem is even at 1-5, you get a couple of wins to get you a little bit close, but then you relapse like a crack addict. It's a problem, man. It's an absolute problem. What are you supposed to expect next year? Hey, this team should be a playoff team next year? It should have been, technically, it should have been a playoff team this year with the way that everything shook out, but you couldn't get it done in the games that you needed to do it. And that's my problem. That's my situation. That's my issue with Gus Bradley.
yeah, my Gus Gonometer doesn't move anywhere. It's still 8 to 10.
Okay.
And it comes down to I'm categorizing it as coach speak in a sense that and I don't watch him anymore because I just get angry and frustrated and want to break stuff, that every post game, every Wednesday presser, whatever presser during the week that he does, he just kind of shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know.
We're doing the things that we're supposed to do. Gus, I'm tired. Look, I'm tired of hearing the same shit every week, man. Like, either come up with a solution or get gone. That's the reality of life.
And to me, it comes down to, I'm wondering, does he want to get let go? And he's intentionally saying certain things, hoping that that'll happen, because I don't think he's a prideful individual, but I don't know if he wants to. I mean, nobody wants to. I don't want to say nobody.
Dog, it's very rare that there's only 32 NFL head coaching jobs. Nobody's willing to be like, I want to get fired.
No,
right?
I mean, I think it takes a very, very a very strong individual to acknowledge, hey, I messed up, and this isn't for me. Yeah, no. And it's one of those things, I think, and I don't like Josh McDaniels at all, but I think that Josh McDaniels' time in Denver and then going back to New England, he openly says, yeah, it was too soon, and Bill Belichick has helped me see that, and I think that I'm more prepared maybe for the second time. I think that he and Gus kind of fall under the same category. Not saying that he'll be better or whatever. I'm just saying that there's a lot there, a lot of expectation there, and without having somebody as like a Pete Carroll to kind of oversee, like, hey, this is what's going on, that he's overwhelmed and he doesn't have the answers, and that's my issue with him, and that's been my issue with him since Tampa, is that he doesn't have the answers. And as somebody that's been in management and leadership with companies, is that when my higher ups would come down, or not come down, but when they would come visit me, whether it's at a store level or something else, or even where I'm at right now, they know the answers to the test before they get there. And so when they're like, Lawrence, where's this metric, or what are you doing over here? They're testing me in a sense to see if I know my stuff. And if I don't know my stuff, then I look like a donkey.
Well, I look
And
at
I
it
don't
like
see that with him in a sense where people are saying like, hey, what's going on? Like, why are you allowing 3 touchdowns to tight ends in a game that Malarkey is a tight end heavy offensive coordinator? That's what he prides himself on. How do you not pregame for that or prepare for that? All right, we're going to cut. Who I would have been more okay if Dorial Green Beckham lit us up versus
Delaney
Walker and some other tight end I've never, Stevenson or whatever his name was, I've never heard of. I'm like, who is this?
Right, I hear you. And going back to your point when you said, "Hey, look, maybe Gus isn't cut out for this." I think you're right. He's not cut out for it. But nobody's gonna willingly be like, "I'm gonna sacrifice my job just so I can
No,
for a sigh of
I'm not
relief."
saying
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying it's there. I think subconsciously he is trying to get Dave and maybe even Khan to a point to say, hey man, this isn't for you.
I'm in over my head. No, I think I would look at it this way. I think he's in a situation where he might be in over his head a little bit, but he just needs to be honest with everybody. Like, look, you want to use accountability as a teaching tool. You're not being accountable to the people that you're telling us that you're being accountable to. There's no reason that Chris Clemens and Andre Branch should even sniff a football field if he wants to be along the lines of, we're going to be accountable and we're going to play the players that are going to perform, and the ones that don't, they're not going to play. Look, Chris Clemens has played 12 games. He's been trashed for 11 of them. Andre Branch has been trashed for 2 seasons completely. All right? It's time.
And he gets a pass because of the Tennessee
And he gets a pass
game.
because he got a sack in the Thursday night game. All right, cool, big fucking whoop. I don't care. I look at it this like, if you've got to make the call, like, look, if you want to say you're holding people accountable, show that.
Yep.
Show it. If it's okay. Sometimes I think it's okay to be in over your head and not 100% sure of how things are going. But in that moment, I think you have to take the time and understand, okay, what's in my immediate control that I can fix. And if you take it from that step and then build upon that, then hopefully everything else falls into place. Take care of the stuff that you can take care of on your own, and then everything, which is your defense. And if you don't have the right pieces, look, you knew Fowler wasn't going to be there since May. All right.
Yep.
You could have made moves. You could have brought in more free agents. You could have traded for some players. You guys, I don't know whether Gus didn't make any input and said, no, we're good with what we have, or if Dave was like, I don't really feel like giving up assets. If Dave was like, I don't feel like giving up assets, that's fine. I still think that's a miss on Dave's part, but I get that. But I look at it this way. If you could take care of the small things of the situations that you can control and don't try not to stress too much about what you can't, then everything else will work out however it's supposed to work out. There's no reason Chris Clemens should be on the roster. No reason Andre Branch should be on the roster. No reason Bob Babbitt should be calling plays. If you think that, look, if you want to be the skate, if you're going down with your ship, you might as well go down fully swinging. Take control of that defense. Try and see if you can fit some other players into those Leo roles. And for God's sake, just try. Try. That's all we're asking you to do. We're asking you to try.
And that's something that you mentioned, take control. I think that was something where remember last year, the first half of the season, our defense was complete ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gus was like, hey, I got more hands on and we got better the second half of the season. I don't understand how that hasn't happened now. Or why hasn't Babbage
It's all the process, man. It's all the process.
You let Babbage go and just become the Sean Payton of defense. Like, let's do that. You let Greg Olson, Doug Marrone do their thing on offense. And you say, all right, I'm calling defensive plays. Screw everybody else. I know my stuff. And that's something, you know, and I'm sure you're the same way in what you do for work. There is one aspect that you know, and you know, and it's the same way whenever we go, my wife and I go out with couples or group people, and wife's like, "Why aren't you talkative?" I'm like, "Because if I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna make sure I know very well about what the conversation is before I give input, because I don't want to look like an ass."
Yeah.
So that's
Or just
where,
in general, it's like, look, if you take pride in your work,
yes,
you're gonna go out and do the best you can. You're gonna try and put the people in the best position to have success. I work in marketing, so I deal with a lot of clients. I do a lot of collaborative work with other people in my department. All right. I'm not gonna hang my coworkers out to dry just because I know that like I've given them control and they can't handle it. If they can't handle it, I'm gonna do my best to try and work with them. And if I know that they are not gonna be able to complete whatever the task is that I've handed to them, I'm gonna pull them off the project, give them something they can handle, and then I will take over as if it's
well,
my project and complete it and at least get it completed.
well, there's that
Once
thing. I
you
mean, you've probably got some facet of that, you know, in and out. So
mm,
when your boss comes to you and says, "Hey, Wale, I need you to do task A," and you look at it and you assess it and say, "Okay, I know I'm okay here. I'm a little low here, but I'm really good at this." That one aspect of it, you're gonna be like, "Okay, I can knock this out of the park." And the other two pieces, I'm gonna get somebody to assist me with,
I'm
or
either going
maybe
to
get
get assist or I'm gonna try and figure out
yeah,
how to
and
make
that
it
that's
work.
the issue that I've had with Gus this season, is that he's supposed to be a defensive guru, and you know his Seattle defense just, you know, lit up Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl, and somehow we're, oh gosh, we're 12 games into the season, and well, 11, about to be 12 games in the season, and our defense is the worst product on the field. That's the issue.
No, we're
So
12 games in, dude.
we're 12. Okay, so we're 12. Yeah, you're right. We're 12 games in. Yeah. Gosh, it's been a long season. We're 12 games
Yeah,
in. We're about
that's
to be
that's how
13.
upset you are. You're forgetting games.
And so let's move on to Charlie Whitehurst versus the Jaguars. What are your thoughts?
The Colts took an absolute shellacking on Sunday night
It was
versus the
glorious.
Steelers, which, obviously you've got Antonio Brown, you have Martavius Bryant. Those
Woo.
guys were just
And
doing a number
Wheaton
on that Colts defense. But
and
this
D'Angelo
is
Williams. Oh my
D'Angelo
gosh.
Williams, where the running game was working. If anything, if God is hearing me right now, I need him
I
to
did
make sure
it.
that Blake has a similar game like he had Sunday. All right. I'm not saying throw for 5 touchdowns, but I'm saying be a
A
67,
decisive,
68%
decisive. Okay.
precision. Yeah, completion percentage, couple of touchdowns, and just look like you have complete command and control
Of
of
the
what's going
offense.
on in the offense. Because if you can do that, I think the Colts, the Jags defense has to rebound, and then I think Charlie Whitehurst as a whole isn't going to be the type of guy that can come in and lead the Colts team to any sort of victory. But I've been proven wrong before
Nah,
because
not so
Gus
bad.
Bradley can't fucking coach. But that's a whole nother thing.
Ooh, F bomb.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, I got a little mad. And it happened.
Um, no, I think this is a game that in all the games that we played this whole season, this is a game that should be almost an automatic win. And I don't say that because I'm super up on my team. I say that because you're playing a team that's on their third string quarterback. And on paper, again, not throwing shade on Charlie Whitehurst, all that other stuff, but I mean, this is a game that you should win just because of the fact, like, if Charlie Whitehurst was better, he'd be second string or first string or whatever.
Not being called out of like retirement.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you've got that, you've got an older Frank Gore, you basically your threats downtown, you're not downtown, your deep threats are gonna be T.Y. Hilton, and then their tight end, whose name escapes me right now, but he was from Stanford, just like Andrew Luck.
Oh, Kobe Fleener.
Yeah, who for some odd reason looks like a crack addict right now with his long hair and
Well, they like
anyway.
Dwayne. They like Dwayne. Dwayne Allen
Yeah,
anyway.
Dwayne Allen. So to me, if you're going to, to me, my game plan is I drop 7 and say, all right, let's Frank Gore try and rush me and spy with Telvin, because oh my gosh, Paz broken hand surgery could play Sunday, which is just I'm not
Why?
a big Paz guy, but I mean Iron Man award of the year for that. But why are you gonna play him if he has a broken hand? You're gonna cast on it and
What's okay? What about the Colts offense scares you? Is it going to be the passing game or is it going to be the run game?
neither.
Well,
The passing
then I'm with you.
game.
I don't play pause.
If I am if I'm a betting person, which I'm not,
I am.
but I'm number 1 in my fantasy league that involves
Oh.
money. So if I'm a betting person, I'm gonna say what they have on passing is more susceptible because of our lack of pass rush to beat us with Colby Fleener, Dwayne Allen, Dante Moncrief, and T.Y. Hilton. That concerns me more than Frank Gore.
And you forgot Andre Johnson.
I don't count Andre Johnson. I don't love Andre Johnson. He was great for me in fantasy years and years ago.
I as a wide receiver, he was one of the
yeah,
best.
he
But man,
for what he had to work with in Houston and all that
I
stuff.
feel bad for the guy.
You know, he is definitely great. He's a red zone target, and that's pretty much it, or maybe even a third down target. He just doesn't have the knees to keep up.
Yeah.
So, but if I'm looking at passing or rushing, passing is definitely where I should put my focus. Granted, I'm a kindergartner, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know these things because I don't know. I didn't go to school for this.
Where, their rushing attack is Ahmad Bradshaw and Frank Gore.
None of those scare you.
No. And so, no, I don't play pods. Maybe I play pods situationally, 3rd and 1, or 3rd and short, rather, or 4th and short. Maybe you put him in there to do that, but I don't.
If we're dealing with a lot of 4th and shorts, then I've given up on this game already.
Well, I'm just saying, like, situationally, 3rd and goal, 4th and goal, like, stuff like that, because Paz is such a big rush defender. That's where I'm going to put him. But other than that, I'm going to take a line on the couple other linebackers that they've picked up. And I'm going to run Telvin, Armbruster, and Scuda.
And Scooter should be back, so
And
that'll actually be a
yeah,
good thing.
Scuda means it's still got the groin stuff going on, or is it? No, it's not groin. It's thigh.
It was a thigh groin issue.
Yeah. Oh my
like,
gosh. Oh,
thing.
it makes my
That-
butthole pucker. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Well,
I mean, it just does. Like, this person at work today was telling me a story about something like that, and she's like, "Why are you crossing your legs?" I'm like, "Because I'm hurting on the inside right now."
'Cause
We're
it
talking
hurts.
about it. This exactly. I've had a double hernia, so I
Oh.
understand that hurt.
yeah, the pain.
But no, that's where I'm at. I mean, you run with those. You run with the guys you picked up off the waiver wire, whatever, practice squad, however you got them. We should win this game by, I don't want to say 14 points. If not
Oh,
more.
you're 2 touchdowns.
Yes, at least.
If we win by 2 touchdowns, I'm buying your beer.
You're buying my beer.
I'll buy your beer. I am not as I think we win, but I'm not. I feel it's gonna be
Meyer
like
field goal?
it'll be
Is Joe
1917.
Flacco
It'll be
elite?
something
I
gross.
hate you.
It'll be
Somebody
1917.
In 90s. Be part of
Someone
it like
asked if
it's-
Joe Flacco's elite.
Yes, it did.
The
the
answer is no. No, he is not. Sorry, Diarrhea. He is not an elite quarterback.
Is hot dogs a sandwich? That's what I want to know.
Are hot dogs a sandwich? Hot dogs are also not a sandwich.
Concur. But no, what do you think? I'm guessing 14 points should be the margin we win by.
I think 1917 Jags. That's the kind of
19.
that's
You think it's
that's
gonna
the-
be that close?
I think it's gonna be just an ugly ass game, fam. That's how I look at it. Because you know why this team has given me absolutely no confidence to think otherwise.
You don't think Blake can put up 40?
I think Blake could put up 40, but this would also be a bad Blake game, and he just
my
he
gosh.
shows up drunk, whatever.
What is with our team that we only win when Blake plays like booty?
I don't know, but hey, he could go. He could have a perfect passer rating, throw 7 touchdowns, and we'd still lose. You know why? Because Jaguars
Oh, you threw that in. You threw that in at the end.
had to.
All right, so
Diary,
what
like
you
the
said-
show,
see,
man.
Yeah.
Like it.
So you said 1917 or 1913?
I say 1917.
1917. Okay, I'm thinking. What can I go out with here? Let me
It's at
think.
14 points, though. It could be
I
like
know. I'm trying to do math
28-14.
here. 28-14. There we go. At
Hey.
least, if not even more than that, 28 like 10, 28-7. But at least 20. I think I would, if the Jags don't score 28 points, again, that's more of a coaching issue that I think needs to be addressed right away. But
Immediately.
all right, I think that's it for us. Anything you want to add, sir?
Sorry for all the F-bombs, guys. I'll be better about it next week. Probably won't. I take that back.
It depends. And maybe we should start a GoFundMe for Wale to your green screen.
Yeah, look, you want me to get a green screen? I can get a green screen, but the one day I wear a green shirt, you're going to be miserable.
I mean, I had to, like, I'm wearing the Bold City Gold shirt, and for whatever reason, where the letters are, it thinks green's in there, so it kind of, like, mixes and matches it.
Oh, no.
But, no, I can't wear white shirts because they get lost in the ether, and then any of my Jaguar stuff gets lost in the ether because it's teal, so it's, like, kind
Fair
of...
enough.
But anyway...
All right.
Thank you, Die Area. Love the play on words.
Thanks for watching.
We will catch you all next week, hopefully with a victory. You can catch Wale at the MC Wale and catch myself on Twitter at LawBoyd. Thank you. Any questions, comments, and all that stuff, we greatly appreciate it. We'll probably do mailbag stuff, hopefully, in the future.
When we start getting messages.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you. Deuces.
Have a good night.